ती अर्पिता आली की तिच्याकडनं अगोदर हे सगळं साफ करून घे, मग मी बघतो. अरे ते चालू आहेत सध्या म्हणते मध्ये काम चालू करायचं आणि त्याच्यातली पुस्तकं ती तेवढी पुस्तकं त्याच्यातच होती ना. Yes, Rutika, is the screen visible? Hello? Hello? Is the screen visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Rutika is there. She's there, but I don't know why she is not speaking.
Okay, there is a message for Rutika that whatever files she has sent, no, she has done it in higher version, student edition. Actually, I had told that you have to download 1899, but I think she has downloaded the latest version, so I cannot, open in my student edition version. So, Rutika, you can send, the screenshots from various angles of the assembly as well as of the components, and please send it in only one PDF file. That's what I wanted to tell you.
Okay, sir. Actually, while I was downloading that, there was the version was not available at that time.
Sir,
The
there is
version that
only
Okay.
you have
one
shared.
version now.
Sorry.
Sir, I downloaded yesterday. There is only one version available on NX website.
Yes, sir.
Which
The
one? Which
latest
version it
version.
is available?
Uh, Only one version, latest version is only available. No older versions
Okay.
are available.
Okay. Then in that case, what you can do? No, you just send me the screenshot, hmm, of the assembly and of the component. Okay. Because
Okay, sir.
I'll be able to check in my software. Fine, but you need to uh, send all the components and the assembly drawing in one file only, one PDF. So this that goes as a record, as a soft copy. Is that clear? Fine, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yesterday we are discussing this workpiece zero and machine zero. So what is workpiece zero and machine zero? Machine zero means any CNC machine before you start, you have to take the machine to the home position or to the reference positions. That home position or reference position is called as X0, Y0 and Z0. If it is 3 axis machine, if it is 3 axis machine, home position, it is like you are staying at your home. Huh? So morning you leave from the home and again in the evening you return to the home when everything is done. So same thing here, whenever you start CNC machine, uh, you should be at the home position because that is the position from which it starts counting, it starts measuring. And what is workpiece zero? Workpiece zero means now suppose this is a table, assume that this screen is a table. We are talking about CNC milling machine. And in order to make it still simpler, this is say axis vertical CNC milling machine. In this case, let us assume that say this is a table. The screen is nothing but a table, and on the table now you can keep your workpiece anywhere. You can keep it here. You can keep it here. You can keep it here. This is, let us say this is a rectangular block. You can keep here, here, here. You can keep at the center also, or you can keep it here also. So how does the machine knows there is a workpiece? How does the machine knows there is a workpiece? So that workpiece zero has to be specified. So assume that this what you are saying that this slide, this is your workpiece and this is your table. So I need to specify the workpiece zero. So what I do, there is something called as a tool probing system, tool probe, or something called the edge finder. Edge finder. So tool probe is an optical device. So what you do, you bring that tool probe, you touch here, and you take. First, you have to take it to the home position, tool probe, because the tool change will happen only at the home position. That automatic tool changer, the tool change will happen only at the home position. And then at the home position, say you have taken the touch probe, that is optical device, okay, and then you move that touch probe. So you will see the readings, XYZ reading. You touch that probe here, you touch the probe here, automatically it will give the center in X direction. touch the probe here and touch the probe here, again it will give a center in Y position. So that is what your workpiece 0 is, that X and Y, center of this. That means workpiece 0 is nothing but from the home position, where is your center of the workpiece in X direction as well as in Y direction. And that distance you have to type in, or you have to key in workpiece offset. There is something called as the offset library. There is a tool offset library as well as there is a work offset library also. So in the work offset library, you have to type that X distance and Y distance. And the code for calling uh, the call statement, for the workpiece offset is G54, G55, G56, like that. So generally there are six offsets: 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59. So you can keep six workpiece on the table, six workpiece on the table, one, two, three, four, five, six, and you can take out the six zeros, centers, six centers, right? And at six centers of the six workpieces, you can type in that workpiece offset page. So this is what is your workpiece 0. And machine 0 is nothing but the home position, machine home position or machine reference position. Now, touch probe is a device. That's an optional device. Touch probe is an optical device. It's costly. So it's costing around 1 to 1.5 lakhs. That is it is a probe basically. It's a Renishaw. Renishaw is the make Renishaw probe. Renishaw probe. So you should touch here. That's an optical device. So that senses the workpiece edge and it gives the reading also. There is another device that is for the H finder, which is a low cost one that costs you around 800 to 1000 rupees. Most of the workshops they use that H finder, because even if it breaks, there is a loss of 800. But if something goes wrong with the touch probe, then straight away 1.5 lakhs ka patka, if it breaks. So if you are handling touch probe, you have to be very careful. Normally we don't let freshers, uh, we don't allow freshers to use a touch probe. Only when they are familiar with the CNC operations and programming, then only they are allowed. And you should not directly take the touch probe. It's a safety device. Accidents can happen, and touch probe can get damaged. This touch probe is used on CMM also. CMM, that is coordinate measuring machines. That is the inspection machine. So touch probe is used extensively in CMM. So what I told, that was your X0 by Y0. So similarly, you have to use the Z0 also, because now this is a spindle, okay, vertical axis, Z axis, and to the spindle we have attached the tools. It may be drill, it may be center till, it may be pilot till, it may be boring bar, it may be end mill. Now imagine the face of the tool. Now from the face of the tool, where is the face of the workpiece? That is the thickness. Understand? So that also machine should understand. There is no magician sitting in the machine. Uh, See, workpiece, there are two variables here. Workpiece thickness can go on varying, like some workpiece thickness may be 50 mm, some may be 75 mm, some may be 100 mm, some may be 200 mm thickness. Similarly, the drills also. Some may be say 50 mm long, some may be 100 mm long. So from the workpiece face, where is the tool face? So again that you have to define. So again same procedure, but here we are not using touch probe or edge finder. Here what we do, we call the tool, let's say tool 01, and say it is a drill. And what we do, we touch that tool to the face of the workpiece. And then whatever reading we get, that we type in the tool offset library of that respective tool. Again, that respective tool. So we first call tool number one. Okay, so tool number one we call, let us say it is a drill having length 50 mm. Then we touch that. How do you do the touching? We bring it very close, and then we use hand wheel, and slowly we bring the tool down and touch. Again, we directly don't touch, to the box. We keep a piece of paper small piece of paper between workpiece and the tool. We just keep on moving the that piece of paper as well as we keep on moving the tool also, and then that piece of paper stops moving. So that is the point where the tool has touched the box, right? So this is how we take the Z offset, and this offset is called as the tool length offset. Tool length offset. So how many offsets you have done? First thing is that G41, G42, that is whether you are going to cut like this or whether you are going to cut like this. That is whether tool is on the left hand side. If the tool is on the left hand side of the workpiece, then it is for the G41. If the tool is on the right hand side of the workpiece, that is if you are going like this, then it is G42. Then we learned about workpiece zero. Generally, it is the center line of the workpiece, that is your origin. You can have workpiece zero here also. Hmm. So normally workpiece zero and program zero are the same. Hmm. Or wherever the programmer has taken program zero, that is considered as the workpiece zero. But you have different also. Like you can have workpiece zero here and program zero here. Hmm. You have to see the convenience. So and we have also run the tool length option. So tool length offset is specified by G43 and workpiece offset is specified by G54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. 9 offsets. And I was talking about low cost device, that is edge finder. So edge finder is nothing but it's you know a pin. It's a pin. There are there are two pins which are joined together, and in the two pins are hollow, and in between the two pins there is a spring. Hmm? So the pins are rotating. What we do, we make the lower half of the pin. See, there are two halves. One is lower half and the upper half of the pin. It is in the two parts, and those two parts are joined with the help of the spring. So what we do, we give the command that we hold the edge finder in the spindle in the chuck, and then we start rotating it generally at 1000 rpm, and then just with the finger, what we do, we make the lower half to rotate eccentric. मतलब हम लोग उसको फटका देते हैं lower half को, so that it starts rotating eccentrically. Hmm. Okay, then we bring that edge finder and we touch it to the workpiece edge. Moment it touches to the workpiece edge, then it starts rotating true. Okay, so that is the point at which your edge finder has touched the workpiece. Then now we have to consider the diameter of the edge finder. Generally, the diameter of the edge finder is 10 mm. So let us take the edge finder is here. So your spindle center line is here. Alright. Hmm. So you have to consider this reading. Hmm. Spindle ka reading. Plus you have to add half of the radius. Same thing you have to do it here also. You have to touch here. Okay. And again you have to subtract that half of the diameter. Now you get this two reading. Okay, and then now you have to find out the center of that, that is average of both the readings. So that is what is your workpiece zero in x direction. The same you have to repeat for the y. Why edge finders are popular? Because it is costing only 800 rupees, and two probes are costing lakhs, and generally the repairs cannot be done, whereas edge finder can be repaired also, because there are not much component, only two pins, and in between there is a spring, that's all. तो जाएगा तो spring ही रहता है, nothing else, और कुछ नहीं. Nineteen students. So I have explained you workpiece 0 point, I explained you machine 0 point. Then usually workpiece 0 point and the component 0 point and the program 0 point, they are same. Sometimes the term floating 0 point, that is also used, floating 0 point. So I told you no that there are six workpieces which are kept on the table. So in that case, the workpiece 0 point can be made floating also. That is from one workpiece to the second workpiece to the third workpiece to the fourth, fifth, and sixth. So that is what is called as the floating 0 point, because the 0 point keeps on floating. Then tool offset also I told you. Tool offset is basically nothing but the length offset, tool length offset, and that is specified by G43. That is the control. That is the computer must understand where your tip is, where your tool tip. This is very important. Understand? You must. If you forget, then what will happen? The tool will dash and to the workpiece. And also you have to remember that if you are taking tool offset for say T01, then you have to enter that value in T01 only. That is quite obvious. Understand? You should not specify in other tool, because machine will not sense whether the tool is short or whether the tool is long. It will just go as per the data, as per the height which you have entered in the tool offset page. External or fixture offset. Generally, this is not used. This is for the automatic palette changer. That is, see, there are two important devices. I will show the video. That is, one is your automatic tool changer. Automatic tool changer means on CNC milling machine or CNC machining center. Uh, you can mount 20 tools, you can mount 40 tools, you can mount up to 120 tools. So that is what is called the automatic tool changer. Similarly, you have automatic pallet changer. Pallet is nothing but a device on which you can mount the workpiece. You can mount the workpiece. So there are two pallets. One pallet is inside where the workpiece is mounted and the machining is going on. Other pallet is outside, outside where you have to mount other workpiece. So you are keeping the other workpiece ready. So what happens moment the first workpiece is machined, automatic pallet changer it rotates through 180 degree. Your the guard is open, machine guard open हो जाता है. Then the component which is machined, that pallet gets rotated by 180 degree. Means what? अंदर का जो component है that will come out, and जो बाहर का जो component है which you set that goes inside. So there is no time loss. Time loss, I said. So that is what is fixture offset. Fixture offset. So you are keeping your component ready as well as you are keeping your fixture offset also ready. So your setup time is reduced. See these CNC machines being very expensive machine. Here you have to uh, see that your spindle keeps on running. That means machining is happening. You have to keep your spindle on. Hmm. Setup, taking the tool offset, taking the workpiece offset, taking fixture offset, uh, or fitting the tool. All this setup you have to reduce. We say SMED, it is single minute exchange of data. Your setup time should be as low as possible. It should not be in 2 digits. It should be in 1 digit. Maximum setup time is allowed is 9 minutes. 9 minutes is a single minute. There is a technique, one of the Kaizen technique, SMED, single minute exchange of data. Means workpiece setup time should be reduced as low as possible. So automatic tool changer, automatic pallet changer. Then there is a tool, there is a device which is called the tool presetter. So tool presetter is again an offline device in which you set the tools outside. That is, just now I told that you can kiss your tool to the wall in order to find out the Z offset, isn't it? That means again you are wasting time, machine time, isn't it, for doing this setup? But this can be done online through the tool presetter. The tool presetter is a device which is helpful for measuring the tool height. Similarly, your workpiece zero. So workpiece zero can be found out offline, that is outside, in fixture offset. You already have a fixture offset, a fixed fixture offset. So in that fixture, you fix up your workpiece. So that is what is your fixture offset is. So these are the techniques which are used for reducing the setup time. Then absolute and incremental positioning. So absolute, it is nothing but with reference to some fixed point. Normal our Cartesian system, that is what is your coordinate system. Normal Cartesian system is your absolute system. So with respect to origin, you are specifying your points. That is, say this is x0, y0, and say if this is say 200 and if this is 100, and say x0, y0 if it is in the center, then this point, this again I repeat, say this is 200 and this is 100, and x0, y0 is center. So in absolute, this point will be how much? X100 and y50. This will be x minus 100 and y50. This will be x minus 100, y minus 50. This will be x100 and y minus 50. This is what is absolute. Incremental means with respect to the previous point. With respect to the previous point. Like suppose now this is my x0, y0. Okay, so with respect to this point is x100 and y50. Now with respect to this, what is this point? This will be x x is with respect to this, x will be minus 200 and y will be 0. See, this is x0, y0, this is x100 and y50. So this will be x minus 200 because this is 200, and y0 because with respect to this, y will be 0. Then what about this? This will be again, there is no increment in x. So with respect to this point will be x0 and y minus 100. Again here it will be x100, y0. Sorry, x200 and y0, and over here it will be x0 and y100. Like that it is incremental. So depending on the drawing, what kind of drawing you receive, you can select this. Absolute positioning is specified by G90 code, and incremental is specified by G91. So this is what the example which you have, you know, written down yesterday. So let us say now this is my x0, y0. Hmm? So let us say this is my workpiece 0 point as well as this is my program 0 point also. Generally they are same. Now there is one column absolute coordinate, another column relative coordinate. Huh? Relative means incremental. So absolute nothing is nothing. This is G90 and this is G91. G90 and this is G91. Hmm? Okay. So now with respect to this, in case of absolute, this is 50 in x and this is 40 in y. So it will be G90. How will specify in the program? G90 x50 y40. G90 x50 y40. Now point number P1. Now what is the coordinate of this point with respect to this? 100 plus 50. So that will be G90 x 150 and y will be 40. Then this will be G90 x is 150 and y will be 40 plus 50, that is 90. Then P3, this will be G90 x50 and y will be 80 plus 40, that is 120. So that is this. Then again coming to this point. So this we are doing milling like this, and this. And like this. We are flowing in this direction. So in that case, we will be using G42. So this was your absolute coordinate which was specified by G90. Now relative means G91. huh? So let's say now this is starting point. hmm? Now you are again going in this direction, that is counterclockwise. So from here to here, now my next point, how do I give U? Generally it is given by U and V because it's an incremental command. So you can give by X and Y also. So let us say X and Y only. So X100 and Y0, because with respect to this point, this in Y direction it is 0. Then what about this? This will be X0 and Y50. X0, Y50. Now coming to this point. So this will be X minus 100 and Y will be 80 minus 50. So 30. So X will be minus 100 and Y will be 80 minus 50, that is 30. Then this. So that will be now X0, isn't it? And Y will be minus 80 from here to here. Y minus 80. So this is what is your incremental. hmm? So in case if you are not drawn it yesterday, uh, you can please do it now. I just give you 2 minutes. So quickly draw this diagram and these tables. So it is not that difficult, uh, absolute and incremental. So depending upon what kind of drawing you have, you can choose. But generally, absolute is safe and incremental is little risky. Means there are chances that you may make mistakes. Like suppose from here to here, 80 minus 50. So a bit of a calculation is required. 30. So instead of that, suppose if you give instead of 30, suppose if you give 40, so this point will shift up T3. So this will be at a 90. And then while returning, instead of uh, now this is already at 90, and if you say minus 80, so it will not come to its original position. So that care you have to take. Huh? You have to play safe. So that was your absolute and incremental. Now, uh, so these were some special features, CNC special features. Now we have to go for the hardware, CNC hardware. Mm, Again, CNC hardware, the weightage is around 4 to 5 marks. Weightage will be around 4 to 5 marks. Once you know hardware, then you can go for the CNC tooling, and then we go for the CNC programming, because the CNC programming consumes time, and CNC programming may you will get good marks also, because there will be two programs, 20 marks. Or if it is three programs, then it can be around 30 marks. Three program means it is one program on CNC lathe, another on CNC milling, then third on APT. So like that. But minimum one program, maximum three programs. So 30 marks. So let's now learn hardware, CNC hardware. What it is. The most important in CNC hardware is your spindle design. That your spindle should be rigid. The spindle should be robust, robust enough, so that it holds the tool. It holds the tool. It rotates the tool, because the spindle is going to give you the torque. That is going to give you the torque, and that torque should be sufficient to rotate, because when that component is being machined, uh, it should not halt. The spindle should not stop. Spindle should not stop, and that is what is nothing but the torque is. Like suppose आपका गाड़ी है vehicle, maybe bike or maybe even four wheeler also, and आपका गाड़ी you are taking it on a घाट मतलब slope, positive slope. Then it should be the HP, the engine HP or the engine torque should be sufficient that it goes up. In this type of situations, normally we always get like rickshaws और स्लोप है, तो समटाइम हमारा इधर एक स्लोप है, सो रिक्शा वाला तो कंपलसरी आदमी लोग को उतार देते हैं, मेरा गाड़ी नहीं चढ़ेगा ऊपर, तीन आदमी को लेके, तो एक दो जन को उतारो, like that it happens. So we cannot do like that in CNC. So your spindle should be robust, or capable enough to take the torque, so that the component can be machined. So this is one important spindle hardware. Then another this is what is hardware is. Then another is your feed drive. Feed drive मतलब आपका एक्सिस आपका मूव करना है, x एक्सिस मूव करना है, y एक्सिस मूव करना है, z एक्सिस मूव करना है, and if it is 7 axis or if it is 6 axis, then again those axis has to be moved. So how to drive, how to drive those axis. Then actuation system is right from the electrical signal or right from the pulse you give to the table movement. So what kind of actual system you are going to use? Whether you are going to use hydraulic cylinder and piston, or whether you are going to use pneumatics cylinder and piston, or you are going to use ball screw or lead screw. So mostly in CNC machines we use ball screws, ball screws, and on conventional machines we use lead screw. So lead screw has acme threads which is at 29 degree, whereas in CNC we have ball screw where the shape of the thread is semicircular. Not semicircular, it is actually hemisphere. Hemisphere. Hmm. So, and in the nut also there is a semisphere. So when you mount the nut on the ball screw, so semisphere and semisphere, so you'll get a sphere. So in that sphere, that you have to fix up the balls, and that's why it is called the ball screw, because in between screw and nut there are, see, number of balls inserted. And why the balls are inserted? You have very less friction between the screw and nut, so that you get a stick free movement. This is called the stick free. Stick free means it is the screw and nut, they are not sticking to each other. Moment the motor get pulse, uh, the screw will rotate. Moment the pulse stops, the screw has to stop rotating. This is what is called the stick free movement. This is what is called the instantaneous braking also. Instantaneous braking. Immediately the brakes are applied. So moment it says G00X50. See, imagine G00 means rapid. The machine is moving rapidly. And moment we say G00X50, the machine has to stop at that position. Hmm. Like you are driving a car and if somebody comes and you apply the brake, hmm, but we experience that there is a overshoot, a little overshoot. In the train also, there is a little overshoot. But in case of CNC machines, hmm, there should not be any overshoot. 50 means 50, exactly at 50.000, it should stop. The overshoots, over travels are not allowed. So that's why, the design of these hardwares, feedback devices, actuation systems, spindle drives, what kind of motors you are using, whether you're using stepper motor, servo motor, DC motor, AC servo motor, or AC induction motor. So it plays a very important role. It plays very important role. Now, when you talk about the structure of CNC machine tools, first though you have to uh, determine what is your application is going to be. That is, whether you have to do very high amount of roughing, that is material removal rate is very high, or whether you are going to do only accurate jobs. That is, you are going to use only light cuts. Hmm. It's like that. Sometimes the CNC machines also, we have two CNC machines. So one is very expensive and precise machine. तो जिसके ऊपर हम लोग वर्क पीस है, we do only very very precise, 1 micron, half a micron wala work pieces. So there we don't take higher depth of cut. And then another CNC machine we use for roughing, or conventional machine also we use it for the roughing, and then for the finishing we use this good quality expensive machine. Hmm. So what is the criteria, design criteria? That it should have high static stiffness, it should be stiff. So if it is stiff enough, then it will not give vibrations or it will not give chatter marks. Hmm. And that's what, how to define that? We define it by stiffness to weight ratio. We define it by stiffness to weight ratio. And structure means the bed, basically the bed of the CNC machine. Right now, bed, etc., you are familiar. It's similar to your conventional machine tools, and generally the beds are cast. They are not fabricated. Fabricated means they are not welded. हम उसको welding नहीं करते हैं, because moment you do weldings, you have lot of stresses, develop welding stresses. Lot of thermal stresses are developed. Lot of thermal stresses are developed, and then there will be vibrations. There will be chatter marks. So we always, all the machine tools we always use the cast iron, because the cast iron has got good damping characteristics. So it doesn't vibrate. It doesn't vibrate. And other advantage is Castanca. It has high stiffness to low weight ratio. मतलब it has very at the same time the bed is not weighing much. The bed doesn't weigh much. It doesn't vibrate. Hmm. So material use can be cast iron, or you can use even if it is a bigger machine, very big machine, 30 feet, 40 feet means the machines which are used for roll turning. I have seen, I've shown you the photos. Roll, bada roll. So there, uh, the concrete beds are used. Hmm. There the damping is still better, or even the polymer concrete is also used. So what are the yeah, this is again very important. So as a production engineers, you may go to the design in the industry. So that time you must remember this. Hmm. What are the criteria for CNC machine tool design? That is machine machine response. It is classified under three categories: machine response, then component characteristics, and operation and cost considerations. Hmm. So if I talk about operation and cost consideration, it should be reliable. This is what nowadays everybody will look for a reliable reliability. reliability. So I can compromise little bit of accuracy or precision, but I depend on reliability. Like suppose yes, you a person may not be or very accurate, but reasonably accurate, but he is reliable. That is, I know that he is going to come today, tomorrow. He is going to work till 8 or 12 hours. So I'll prefer that instead of a very accurate person. कुछ भरोसा नहीं आज आएगा तो कल नहीं परसों नहीं हाँ, 4 दिन के बाद आएगा so he's of no use even though he is accurate it's of no use then that is what is called the reliability like suppose I have fixed up a tube light now so I know that now this tube light will run for at least 6 months so I'm damn sure so I will not um, keep a spare one even though it is giving just a sufficient brightness fine and instead of that suppose I have another tube light which is very bright it is giving good very brightness above requirement but I don't know when it will go off so I will not go for that मेरे को उसके लिए 2-3 इन्वेंटरी रखना पड़ेगा spares I have to keep the spares for that so the reliability is very important reliability itself is a separate subject at postgraduate level even in the final year also it is elective maintainability that is free from maintenance nowadays we are talking about again maintenance engineering is a branch itself as well as be offered as the elective subject also maintenance engineering then cost consideration that is cost of operation should be less see remember as a design engineer you have to design in such a way that it should be manufacturable we say whenever you are designing we say it is designed for manufacturing we say it is designed for cost and we say it is designed for assembly and we say it is designed for maintainability and reliability so these four factors you have to consider design for manufacturing means whatever you design should be manufacturable if you are designing something and it cannot be manufactured no I mean your design is fantastic Arey, wow, yeah, design is very good huh? But it, if it is not manufacturable then what is the use of that design zero percent zero money it's of no use the design it is fantastic but it is if it is not or if it is not manufactured it's of no use second factor is design to cost see that is what your skill is you have to design in such a way that the cost is less. Cost of manufacturing is less. That is what the skill of design, and that is what the experience speaks about. A fresher and an experienced person, huh? There will be a lot of difference. A fresher, if he designs, sometimes it may not be manufacturable also, or it can be expensive also. If you spend 5 years, then, and if you look back 5 years down the line, you know, so you will laugh, अरे मैंने क्या डिजाइन किया था जब भी मैं फ्रेश था, कितना कॉस्टली था. So slowly you come to know. But that 5 years period we have to reduce to 1 year or 2 year. How? You have to learn, you have to go to the maintenance engineering, you have to learn maintenance engineering, you have to learn reliability engineering. Hmm? Cost of operation, running cost should be less. Capital investment should be less. Installation requirement, अभी हम लोग क्या है, installation requirement should be as minimum as possible. जैसा ही मशीन dispatch किया वहां से, और on the site or at the customer, you have to just put the machine on the floor and start working on that. This is what that means. Installation requirement is nil, no requirement at all. This is how your design should be. For example, पहले few years back, at our time, 20-25 years, huh, we used to be on the gas. Machine dispatch किया तो उसके पहले 7 days पहले we used to work, उसके लिए फाउंडेशन बनाओ, उसके लिए खोदो, खड्डा खोदो, और सब पॉकेट बनाओ, फाउंडेशन ड्राइंग मंगाओ मशीन टूल मैन्युफैक्चरर से, फिर उसका सब इलेक्ट्रिकल केबलिंग करो, एवरीथिंग. All these things used to 7 days, 10 days, and machine arrives, and then machine को properly रखो, then उसका सीमेंट कंक्रीटिंग करो, properly bolting करो, सीमेंट को put the bolts, high bolts, foundation bolt, सीमेंट कंक्रीट डालो, let it cure, then cabling, earthing, मेगर वगैरह. So moment the machine arrives, still it used to take 3 to 4 days for commissioning. So 1 week before, and so it used to take 10 days, 10-12 days. But nowadays, how it is, how the design changes. Why we do all these foundations, so that machine can take more cuts, machine doesn't vibrate. Nowadays the machines are provided with the vibration pads, rubber pads, vibration pads. See, technology. So you just on the vibration pads, on the rubber pads. That's all. Just plug in your three-phase supply to the voltage stabilizer, 440 volt ka, and just within 30 minutes, within half an hour, your machine is operational. So this is how it should be. So nil installation requirement. This is how your design should be. Undamped, then component undamped to natural frequency. Power requirement, that is, it should take lowest power, as well at the same time it should cut more also. This is what your friction characteristics. Zero friction, isn't it? Just now I give an example that ball screw and nut. Hmm? We put balls inside. It's not like our normal conventional machine where the friction is more. Hmm? More the friction, that it will resist the motion. So you will not get good motion. You will not get the feed rates. We are talking about 10 meters per minute, 10,000 millimeter in a minute. This is the speed we are talking about, velocity we are talking about. So if it is frictionless, unless and until it is frictionless, you cannot. So how to design that? Inertia, stiffness, backlash. Backlash is nothing but a play between nut and screw, ball screw. Play, that is, if the play is more between the screw and the nut, then motion will be what? Dugu dugu, isn't it? If the play is more. If there is no play at all, zero play, the nut will hold on the screw tightly. So it will not move at all. So to just keep the backlash in such a way that it moves fantastically. There is no play. There is no do kind of motions. You know. Then speed range, as I told, speed range, positively infinitely variable. 0 to 6,000. Any speed should be possible. So the design differs. If I want to have a positively infinitely variable, or if I want to have a fixed speed, altogether, the designs are at the two ends. Hmm. Bandwidth, that is of the electrical signal. That is in case if you want to interface. huh, That is, I told that sitting at home, sitting on the table here at home, you can run the machine in your USA or in London. Machine response, command signals, what kind of pulses, whether you are giving or whether you are generating square pulse or triangular pulse, maximum feed rate. The feed rate. See, nowadays we are talking about maximum velocity. Earlier it was maximum depth of cut. Earlier, see the technology changes. पहला हम लोग कैसा था 5 mm का कट दे दो 10 mm का कट दे दो somebody will come अरे मैंने तो 50 mm का कट दिया 50 mm. But nowadays you only 1 mm. Take smaller bites, cut faster. Understand? If you are giving more depth of cut, you have to move very slow. It's like if you are carrying a 50 kg load on your head, obviously you will walk at very slow speed. But then what happens? Hmm? You may down, at any moment, 50 kilo ka rakh. Instead of that, what is the philosophy we are talking? 5 kg या 10 kg का ले लो 5 times, but move fast. So that is not a threat to your life. Understand? So same thing happens. If you are applying heavy load on the spindle gets damaged. With small cuts, huh, there is no load on the machine. So the machine accuracy, machine life increases. Then you are talking about static accuracy. Static accuracy means without considering the forces. Dynamic accuracy means when you are considering the forces and you are considering the motion. Dynamic means which is moving. Then magnitude of load, how much load it takes, how much load is allowed in green zone, in orange zone, and in red zone. Travel, how much is the traveling length. Then weight of the moving members. So here this plays very important role, weight of the moving members. Whether you are going for the fixed bed or moving bed. Fixed bed matlab your bed is fixed, your workpiece is fixed. So it allows you to load 1 ton, 2 ton workpiece. But if your bed is moving, then if you want to move workpiece which is 1 ton, then your motor HP will be very big. And then what kind of power source you have. So this is what the design criteria is. And then we'll continue this interesting part tomorrow. So you can enjoy your break. If you have doubts, please ask. Otherwise, you can leave it.